March, that crazy month of the year where some of you are planning spring break trips, others are still shoveling snow, and some are doing both. Hopefully, most of you are feeling that spring is in the air and you're ready for the cleaning and fixing up that tends to happen around your homes this time of year. The seasons change from winter to spring. Spring cleaning and fix-up projects aren't always fun, but they are necessary for keeping your home in order, which is why we're using the idea of DIY to help kids understand something important about forgiveness. We define forgiveness like this: deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. When something breaks, sometimes it can be an easy fix. Sometimes, well, not so easy. But if you don't put in the work, you will wind up surrounded by brokenness. Forgiveness allows us to restore a broken relationship or allow God to help us let go of the hurt and move on with the life that God wants us to live. This video is going to give you information on what you need to be doing ahead of time to get ready for March. If you want to know the Bible stories, bottom lines, and key questions we'll be learning this month, check out the March preview video. For now, let's unbox what March has in store for your kids. First up, large group. Here are some notes to keep in mind as you check out script options. All month, the games involve a variety of common tools from your personal toolbox or, of course, your volunteers to minimize what you need to buy. Now, for specifics, in K5 Starter, each week, be sure to save your props from the opener, because you'll use them all again in week 5 for a big relay race. And we have a note for the week 5 Bible story as well. If you don't typically have a sound person, you'll want to recruit someone for this story and take some time to rehearse. You'll also need to create edits of the songs with set start and end times, but don't worry, we have a how-to video posted to the 252 Kids Facebook group that shows you just how to do this. Now, for K5+, for week 1, you'll be using 7 balloons of one color and 77 balloons. You heard that correctly. 77 balloons of another color. We hope this will be a wow moment to teach Jesus' point that we should be willing to forgive someone, not just 7, but 77 times. Then, in week 2, you'll need to recruit 3 adults to be puppeteers. They'll be controlling cardstock silhouettes attached to dowel rods behind a scrim. This should be as simple as a white sheet with a bright focus light behind it. Finally, for weeks 4 through 5, it would be ideal if you can get 3 male actors who can play the parts of the father, the younger son, and the older son both weeks. These could be small group leaders, high school or college students, or any other adults who can prepare with the script and have enough time to rehearse. They'll be able to use the script for guidance, but you'll want to build in some time to get the timing right. Now, if you use the K3 version of the scripts this month are pretty straightforward, but still make sure you read through the supply list, make sure you have everything you need. In the 252 preteen curriculum, each week the opening game includes something related to tools or building. For week 1's Name That Tool game, we do provide visuals of different tools, but it would be a lot more fun if you're able to just borrow some of these tools and have the real thing to use instead. The opener in week 3 is a nut and bolt matching game. This game works best with a ton of nuts and bolts, so, check with any contractors in your church, or you probably got a drawer with this. See if they can help get you a discount at the hardware store, or just go in that drawer in the kitchen and grab these things. Make sure they fit. For weeks 2 and 4, the communicator scripts use items from the opening games. In week 2, you'll need the jumbo and mini marshmallows from the game. And in week 4, you'll need the homes that the small groups create from pieces of cardboard. If you don't use these opening games, you'll need to recreate these for the story. Now, hopefully, you're keeping up to date with the visual timeline of the Bible throughout the year. Each week will continue to include visuals that you can print out and use to visualize God's one big story. As always, they'll show up as slides to show during your host outro for all the 252 Kids large group scripts. And remember, no matter what script you use, We include engaging ways for your kids and preteens to experience the Bible passages this month with visuals, props, costumes, and audience participation. Be sure to read the Getting Ready section at the top of the scripts for how to prepare and where to find the props and images you might need. But if you don't have a live storyteller every week, be sure to check out the media package or videos that can enhance your large group experience. 252 Story is created with your kindergartner through third graders in mind and comes with intro-outro videos that help make a relevant tie-in to their life. And for your preteens, check out the So-and-So Show. The hosts are always up to something that your preteens don't want to miss. And all of that sets up small group. First of all, no matter what script you use, for those of you who have kids with special needs in your ministry, make sure you check out the special needs adaptations available in your curriculum downloader. Those leader guides include ideas and suggestions for adapting the activities and conversations to fit the needs of all kids who attend your ministry. Now, right from the start, in small group this month, we want you to be sensitive to different situations that may come up as we talk about forgiveness. These could be triggers for some kids to share about something happening at home or school, so be sure to have a conversation with your leaders ahead of time and help them navigate the topic of forgiveness with the kids who are in difficult situations. For kids who are being bullied or have experienced or are experiencing abuse, the road of forgiveness will likely be a long and complicated journey. For the groups with kids in these situations, conversations about forgiveness might feel a bit tough or stilted or awkward, and that's okay. Some things are much harder to forgive than others. The important thing is that you and your small group leaders are creating a safe place for kids to talk about forgiveness. Now, for the K-5 starter small group notes, kids in these groups will get to do a variety of fun object lessons and races, including one where they have to stack hex nuts onto spaghetti noodles. And in week 4, they'll have to pull golf tees out of foam pieces while wearing these. Check out the leader guides for details on how these random supplies actually help kids learn something. And then in K1 small group notes, in week 3, your kindergartners and first graders will get to run an obstacle course made up of whatever large objects you have on hand. You can use random furniture, traffic cones, hula hoops, or those vinyl pop-up tunnels that you might be able to borrow from your preschool ministry. Then be sure to check out the second and third grade notes. In week 2, kids will get to do a fun experiment to illustrate how forgiveness changes our relationship with others. Kind of like how this paper towel can be used to change the color of water in this cup to a completely different color of water in a new cup. Have water, just the cups, but you get the idea. All right, preteen for week 4. We thought preteens would get a kick out of how, in the prodigal son story, the younger brother ends up so hungry that he wants to eat with the pigs. So, we drummed up a couple of pig-related games for them to play. And what would a DIY month be without talking about FX? IDK. First, always check out the Getting Ready document found in the FX folder. That will always help you understand the props, sound cue, and visual cues you'll need to assemble and have a great event. It will also give you a heads up on some things you'll need to prepare ahead, like gathering special performers, presenters, or props and costumes. I'll give you a heads up for FX in March. Duct tape. Lots and lots of duct tape. Each week, the hype section will be playing games that use large amounts of the stuff. A case, or 2, or more would not be out of the question for the month. There are a few other very special props needed. Some drain pipes, you can choose from a lot of options here. Take the most inexpensive. And for week 2, you'll get to see a very rare sight. Kids actually enjoying putting away laundry. You don't want to miss that. You'll need some drawers and a lot of clothing pieces, so hit up the thrift stores or that old storage facility that everyone forgot about. It's a great month in FX to really incorporate parents who know their way around the big box home repair stores. For week 4, you'll need some large foam insulation sheets, and some lucky fathers get to run through them. For week 5, Comic Coast will be using a homemade gong. Or if your worship band has a real one just hanging around, go for it. Personally, I prefer the DIY look. Well, that does it. Of course, if you have any questions, be sure to ask your Orange specialist. They are ready and waiting to help you take this month and all your months using 252 to the next level. And check out our Facebook 252 Partners community where you can ask questions, share some ideas with literally thousands of other leaders just like you. One more thing. Whenever I talk about DIY, and often when I think about forgiveness, I would like to emphasize one very important thing. Put up your tools. Have a great month.